In a small dusty village called Ezi, deep in the African savannah, lived a young boy named Chidi. Ezi was a village where tradition and culture were held in high regard, and the villagers believed strongly in the power of their gods and oracles. Life was simple, and the people mostly relied on farming and hunting for their livelihood. However, there was a shadow that loomed over this seemingly peaceful village, a tradition of human sacrifices to appease the gods whenever calamity struck. Chidi's family was among the poorest in the village. They lived in a small thatched hut on the outskirts of Ezi. Chidi's father, Okonkwo, was a humble farmer, and his mother, Nneka, made a living by weaving baskets and selling them in the village market. Despite their hardships, Chidi's parents were kind-hearted and taught him the values of honesty, kindness, and perseverance. Chidi, a bright, curious boy, was known for his intelligence and a natural taste for knowledge. One year, a severe drought struck the village. The crops failed and the rivers dried up. The villagers, desperate and fearful, turned to the oracle for guidance. The oracle, a stern woman known for her cryptic pronouncements, declared that the gods were angry and demanded a sacrifice. A young boy, pure and untainted, was to be offered to appease the gods and bring back the rains. The village elders, after much deliberation, chose Chidi as the sacrifice. His family's poverty made him an easy target, and they believed that offering him would cleanse the village's misfortunes. Chidi was devastated. He couldn't understand why he had to die for something beyond his control. His parents were heartbroken, but felt powerless against the village's decision. As the day of the sacrifice drew near, Chidi was tied to a tree deep in the thick forest, left alone and scared, waiting for his fate. The night was dark, with only the sound of rustling leaves and distant animal calls. Chidi shivered, not just from the cold, but from fear and sadness. However, fate had other plans. As the moon hung high in the sky, a hunter named Obinna was passing through the forest. Obinna was from a neighboring village and was known for his courage and compassion. He was out hunting to provide for his family, which, like Chidi's, was poor. Obinna had 3 children of his own and often struggled to make ends meet. As he moved quietly through the forest, he noticed a faint movement in the darkness. Approaching cautiously, he was shocked to find a young boy tied to a tree. Obinna quickly freed Chidi, who was too weak to stand. The boy's eyes were filled with fear and confusion, but he managed to tell Obinna his story. Moved by the boy's plight, Obinna decided to take him home. He knew that his family could not afford to keep another child, but he couldn't leave Chidi to such a cruel fate. That night, under the cover of darkness, Obinna carried Chidi back to his village. Back in Obinna's humble home, Chidi was welcomed with warmth and kindness. Obinna's wife, Amaka, and their 3 children shared what little food they had with Chidi. They were poor but generous, and they made Chidi feel safe for the first time in days. As Chidi recovered, Obinna pondered what to do next. He knew he couldn't afford to keep Chidi, but he was determined to help the boy find a better life. Obinna reached out to a neighbor who had a son living in the city. This young man named Emeka had left the village years ago to seek better opportunities and had established himself as a trader. Obinna arranged for Chidi to go to the city with Emeka, hoping that he could learn a trade and build a future for himself. It was a difficult decision, but Obinna believed it was the best chance for Chidi to escape the circle of poverty and despair. The journey to the city was long and filled with wonder for Chidi. It was his first time leaving the village, and everything was new and exciting. The The city was bustling with activity, people rushing about, markets full of colorful goods, and tall buildings that seemed to touch the sky. Emeka welcomed Chidi and took him in as an apprentice in his shop. The boy was expected to learn the trade and help out in the shop, but Emeka soon noticed something special about Chidi. Chidi was not just hardworking, he was incredibly bright. He picked up new skills quickly and showed a keen interest in reading and learning. Emeka, impressed by the boy's intelligence, started giving him books to read. Chidi devoured them, eager to learn as much as he could. It wasn't long before Emeka realized that Chidi's talents were wasted in the shop. The boy deserved an education. Emeka reached out to a wealthy businessman, Mr. Ade, who was known for his philanthropic work. He told Mr. Ade about Chidi's situation and his remarkable intelligence. Moved by the story, Mr. Ade agreed to sponsor Chidi's education. He enrolled him in a good school, where Chidi quickly became a top student. For the first time, Chidi had the opportunity to learn in a formal setting, and he thrived. He was passionate about his studies and worked tirelessly to excel in all subjects. Chidi's journey from the village to the city, from a life of poverty to one filled with opportunities, was marked by his hard work and determination. His dedication did not go unnoticed. He earned a scholarship to attend one of the best universities in the country, where he decided to study medicine. Chidi was driven by a desire to help others and to make a difference in the world. He remembered the kindness of Obinna and Emeka, and he wanted to give back. Years passed, and Chidi became a successful and respected medical doctor. He specialized in treating diseases common in rural areas, always thinking of people in the villages, like Eze. He built a name for himself as a compassionate and skilled doctor, dedicated to his patients' well-being. Yet, despite his success, Chidi never forgot his roots. He often thought about his parents, Obinna, and the village that had once sought to sacrifice him. After 25 years away, Chidi decided it was time to return to Eze. He had saved enough money to make a significant impact, and he wanted to give back to the community that had, albeit unknowingly, set him on the path to success. Chidi returned to Eze not just as a successful doctor, but as a man who had seen the world and wanted to bring positive change. The villagers were shocked to see Chidi return. Many had assumed he was lost forever. They were even more astonished when they learned of his accomplishments. Chidi was a doctor, a man of great knowledge and skill, who had come back to help them. The villagers, filled with a mix of shame and awe, welcomed him warmly. Chidi, despite the memories of his near sacrifice, harbored no bitterness. He had come with a purpose to uplift his village. Chidi used his savings to build a modern hospital in Eze, the first of its kind in the area. The hospital was well equipped and staffed with trained medical professionals. It provided much needed healthcare services to the villagers who had previously relied on traditional healers and had limited access to modern medicine. The hospital became a beacon of hope, not just for Eze, but for neighboring villages as well. While in Eze, Chidi learned a shocking truth about his family. An old elder who had been a close friend of Chidi's late grandfather revealed a long-kept secret. Chidi's grandfather had been the rightful king of Eze, but he was assassinated in a coup that led to his family's downfall. The royal family was stripped of their status, and the village had forgotten their lineage. This revelation explained the hardship Chidi's family had faced and the mystery surrounding their past. The villagers, upon learning the truth, were filled with guilt and sorrow. They realized they had wronged Chidi's family, not only by forgetting their royal lineage, but also by nearly sacrificing him. The elders and villagers insisted on restoring Chidi to his rightful place as king. They believed that crowning him would be a way to correct past wrongs and honor the royal family. Chidi accepted the crown, but his first act as king surprised everyone. He abolished the tradition of human sacrifices, declaring it a barbaric practice that had no place in a modern society. Standing before the villagers, he proclaimed, "We will no longer offer our children to the gods. We will honor our ancestors and the gods through love, unity, and progress." The villagers, relieved and inspired, celebrated the end of a dark chapter in their history. Chidi then made another unexpected decision. He called forth Obinna's son, Chuka, who had grown into a wise and just man. Chidi remembered the kindness of Obinna, who had saved his life and given him a chance at future. He believed that the son of such a noble man deserved to lead the village. With great humility, Chidi handed over the throne to Chuka, stating, "Your father gave me the gift of life, and now I give you the honor to lead this village into a new era." Chidi focused on his work at the hospital, providing care and education to the villagers. He taught them about hygiene, nutrition, and the importance of preventive health care. The hospital became not only a place of healing, but also a center for learning and community development. Chidi's efforts transformed Ezi into a thriving community, free from the shadows of old traditions and filled with hope for the future. As time went on, Chidi's story became a legend in Ezi. He was remembered not just as the boy who escaped sacrifice, but as a man who brought compassion, knowledge, and change to his village. The people of Ezi honored Obinna as a hero and cherished the new traditions of compassion and unity that Chidi had established.
So viewers, what moral lesson have you learned from this story? And what is your most interesting part of the story? Please do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and also turn on the notification button so that I can watch more interesting stories like this one when we upload them. Bye!